Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Five Star Stadium in Ben Hur, Virginia for tonight's football contest between our Gate City Blue Devils and the Lehigh Generals. The Generals come in tonight 1-1 in district play. They're coming off a 35-19 loss last week to the Lebanon Pioneers. And our Blue Devils defeated Powell Valley last week 44-7. A win will clinch the district title tonight for the Blue Devils. And a win for Lehigh keeps them in the running for a co-championship. So Gate City can win it outright if they can defeat the Generals here tonight. Lehigh is led by their running back Tyler Graham. He carried 25 times last week in the loss to Lebanon. The Generals predominantly are a running team using the wishbone, the power eye, and with a pretty good sized offensive line. After tonight, the Generals have Clinch Mountain District opponent Virginia High next week and neighbor Thomas Walker in 2 weeks. As I said, the Blue Devils will win their third consecutive Clinch Mountain District Championship with a win tonight over the Generals. It'll also secure the #1 playoff seed in Region D, which I think they might have already actually clinched. Not sure. Gate City's offensive line and blocking backs have led the way for fullback Joseph Vaughn, halfback Dusty Clark, and have protected quarterback Nick Bowen pretty much all season. The Blue Devil defense has been very stingy, last week holding Powell Valley to 100 yards rushing. Clark and Vaughn combined for 400 yards last week, and Bowen passed for 133 yards and 2 touchdowns. So we're about 5 minutes away from the opening kickoff. We'll send it back to the station for 2 minutes. Be back with the starting lineup and the opening kickoff. Back at Five Star Stadium. Gate City's captain's out across the way, and right now that's everybody that's made it. We'll take a look at the starting lineups first for the Lee Generals. On offense, tight end number 55, Enrique Lopez, 5'6", 209-pound sophomore. Left tackle, Josh Shoemaker, 6 foot, 232-pound senior. Left guard, Michael Laws, 5'9", 238-pound senior. The center is Jesse Daniels, 5'10", 195-pound senior. The right guard, Jordan Rowe, 5'9", 212-pound senior. Right tackle, Chris McQueen, 6'1", 253-pound sophomore. And the tight end on the right side is David Woodward, 6 foot, 180-pound senior. In the backfield, at fullback, Austin Snoggers, 5'9", 187-pound sophomore. The right halfback is Zach Parsons, 6 foot, 154-pound junior. And the left halfback and the leading rusher for the Generals is Tyler Graham, 5'11", 172-pound junior. And the quarterback is number 15, Caleb Bledsoe, a 6 foot, 150-pound senior. As the Generals, down to our right, make their way onto the field here at Lee.
And the horse makes its round.
Generals dressed in their home red. They too, like Gate City, have changed colors of helmets. Lee also wearing white helmets now. For years had been gold. And guess you have noticed that Larry Shelton's not with us tonight. Larry back at home taking care of some family matters, and he'll be back with us in a couple of weeks. And just want to tell him that we're certainly thinking about him, and look forward to him coming back and joining us for the playoffs, which in essence will be 3 weeks from tonight, on the 19th of November. The Generals and Blue Devils bands getting ready to head off the field, and we'll be getting ready for the coin toss. We'll go with the starting lineup now on offense for the Blue Devils. Wide receiver 42, Montana Morris, 5'8", 129-pound sophomore. The left tackle, Daniel McMurray, 5'11", 239-pound junior, wears number 70. Cody Vaughn's the left guard, 5'9", 226-pound junior. Center, Cody Davidson, 5'8", 289-pound senior. Right guard, Austin Reed, number 55, 6', 271, a freshman. Austin Dockery, the right tackle, 6', 276, and a junior. Tight end on the right side, Michael Calton, 6'1", 172-pound junior. In the backfield for the Blue Devils, the tailback, number 15, Dusty Clark, 5'8", 189-pound senior. Fullback, 5'10", 188-pound junior. Number 31, Joseph Vaughn. At the other back will be Seth Clark, 5'11", 177-pound senior, and a quarterback, 5'9", 158-pound sophomore, wearing number 10, Nick Bowen. So that the Blue Devils on offense. Again, the Blue Devils looking tonight to wrap up their third straight Clinch Mountain District Championship and to make sure that they have secured the number 1 seed in the Region D playoffs, which would give them a home game, which they're, as I say, I think probably already pretty much guaranteed the number 1 seed, win or lose here tonight, but certainly want to win that district championship outright.
Definitely.
As you said, the head referee was
Wayne Austin.
Wayne Austin.
He is out of Abingdon, I believe.
As the coin toss for some reason seems to take so long. Now, it didn't used to seem to take as long. As the Blue Devils turn with their backs to the scoreboard end of Five Star Stadium, the Generals win the toss and will take the football to start here tonight. Captains were Shelton, Calton, Kilgore, and Berry for the Blue Devils. And not sure exactly what's taking place, as
I don't know.
All the Generals, players and band are making their way to midfield, as well as the Blue Devils and their staff. So we'll send it back to the station for a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with the opening kickoff. Back at Five Star Stadium, I have seen many post-game prayers between both teams, but don't know that I can ever recall seeing it before the game. But that's what we just had here in Lee. And as I said, the Generals will be receiving to our right. Blue Devils will send Nick Bowen out to kick.
Don't expect a lot out of me tonight, voice-wise, because it's hard for me to talk and run the camera. That's two things at one time.
Well, I got news for you. I can do neither, and thank goodness that you can at least do one of them. Back deep for the Generals, number 5, Jonathan Hill. And kicking for the Blue Devils, as I said, Bowen. Gate City in their road white. Pants and tops. And we're set to get this one underway. Bowen approaches the football. High kick be fielded by Hill at the 6. He has it across the 10, 15, 20. Has a seam up over the right side. 25, 30, out to the 35, 36 yard.
Decent return.
Yeah, it was. Berry and Bird on the stop for the Blue Devils. So the Generals will have it 1st and 10 on their own 36-yard line. At quarterback, Caleb Bledsoe. See what the Generals open up with, and they appear to be going to their wishbone, which they are. as Hill moves to the slot to the right. Send the fullback in motion to the right. Quarterback sneak up the middle by Bledsoe, and he'll pick up about 3 yards. Send all the motion to the right and try to get us with a quarterback sneak.
I believe the Generals are trying to make a statement in the opening series here.
3 yards on first down by Bledsoe. Bring up 2nd and 7 from their own 39-yard line. "34 players dressed out tonight for the Generals." Bledsoe hands off over the left side to Tyler Graham. Graham picks up just a couple out across the 40 to the 42. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 4 for the Generals. The first 10 meetings between these two schools were split at 5 and 5.
Going back how far?
Well, the first 10 meetings, which started in the late 80s, and then Gate City's won every game since. I think 13 in a row, I believe. Bledsoe kicks it around the left side. It'll be a foot race to the corner, and he won't win it as Morris comes up and puts the stop on Bledsoe after he gains only a yard. So it's going to be 4th and about 3 for the Generals, and we'll see what they choose to do. First-year coach Palco sends his punt team in.
And I would say that would be a smart move.
Absolutely. Dropping back deep for the Blue Devils will be Joe Vaughn. Punting will be Bledsoe, the quarterback. So if the quarterback's a punter, you always need to be alert. Here's a snap to Bledsoe. Here's his punt. High. Good punt. Fielded by Vaughn at the 26. He has it at the 30, 35, and he's knocked down out of bounds at that point. And on the stop, 34, Derek Rowe for the Generals. So the Blue Devils will have it 1st and 10 at their 36. Generals started on their own 36. So same field position. Blue Devils send Collier wide to the left. Open up in the shotgun. Vaughn to Bowen's left. Dusty Clark to his right. Miller in the slot. Handoff goes left side. Clark has it across the 35. Now gives ground. Now picks it up to 35-40. And going to be run out of bounds as he crosses the 40 up to about the 43. It's going to be a gain of 7 on the play. Parsons on the stop for the Generals. So spot the ball near the 43. To the line of scrimmage, the Blue Devils. This time Bowen takes a snap, hands over the right side to Vaughn, has it across midfield, tackled in general territory at the 47-yard line.
Big hole opened up in the middle of the Lehigh General.
Yeah, right over
defense,
right guard. So the Blue Devils have it 1st and 10 on the General 46-yard line. Blue Devils come with 2 tight ends, Bowen under center, T formation. Bowen turns, quick handoff to Vaughn, and he's hit and dropped at the line of scrimmage. There'll be no gain on the play. David Woodward on the stop for the Generals. They'll give him about a half a yard. It'll bring up 2nd. We'll call it 9. Just underway here at Lee. 8:45 to go in the first quarter. No score. Devils looking to go undefeated in the Clinch Mountain District and wrap up their 3rd straight district championship. This time I formation. Wide out set to each side. Bowen fakes, now rolls to his right. He's got Collier open downfield. Collier has it at the 20, 15, 10, 5, and into the end zone will go Michael Collier. That'll be a 45-yard touchdown pass from Bowen to Collier. And that gets Gate City on top here, 6-0 with 8:21 to go in the first half. Collier just cut upfield. Bowen rolled to his right, hit him right in stride, and Collier able to race into the end zone from 45 yards out. Logan Bird to hold. Corey Franklin back in action this week. Will hold. Bird to kick. I think I might have said he was going to hold. Be hard to hold and kick it. Bird's kick is up, and his kick is good. 8:21 to go in the first quarter. It's Gate City 7, Lehigh 0. Nick Bowen kicks off, high short kick, bounces it to 20, nobody gets on it, and the ball's loose, and the Blue Devils have come up with it. And it will be who? Logan Russell, the man to come up with the football. Lee just failed to field it.
They're just standing there looking at it.
They let it hit just like a punt. And then once that happened, the General tried to recover it, but didn't have a chance to recover it. There's 3 Blue Devils were there, and the ball comes out, and Russell able to fall on it. Just bad mental mistake there by the Generals. You've got to field a kickoff. You certainly could have asked for a fair catch on that and made the catch. So the Blue Devils, with a break, take over 1st and 10 on the General 25-yard line. They'll have Bowen under center in the I, split Clark and Collier out to the left. Here's a little swing pass out to Dusty Clark, and he'll pick up, well, by the time they get done throwing him down, he's going to pick up about 8 yards as he crosses inside to 20 down near the 17-yard line.
Well, he's not going to stop just because they're there.
No, he's not, and I think they found out he was a little harder to get on the ground, and it took a little more to get him down. But a gain of 8.
I still can't get over the reaction of Lehigh on the kickoff.
No, that you got to know you got to catch that. Calton splits out wide to the right for the Blue Devils. Pair I formation set to the right. Bowen under center, 8-man line, turns hands off to the second man through. That's Clark. Clark rumbles down inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Off right guard between the guard and the center gap, and gives the Blue Devils a 1st and goal down about the 8-yard line. City back to the line of scrimmage. They send Calton out to the left. This time pair I set to the left. Handoff goes to Clark, and he cuts it up inside, down inside to 5, down near the 4-yard line. That'll be a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and goal. And about the 4-yard line.
Chilly night in Lee County.
Yeah, it's about to get football weather. Single setbacks Vaughn. Double wing and motion to the near side comes Dusty Clark, hand off to Vaughn, and he twists into the end zone for the Blue Devil touchdown, and that puts Gate City on top 13-0 with 6:29 to go here in the first quarter. So the Blue Devils again will have Logan Bird on to attempt the extra point, Corey Franklin to hold, and Logan Russell to snap. There's a snap. It's good. The hold's good, and the kick looks to be as well. 14-0. Gate City leads. 6:29 to go here in the first quarter. Bowen's kick. High but short, fielded at the 15, up across the 20, 25-yard line, near the 30. On the return is Zach Parsons, and a host of Blue Devils knock him down right at the 30-yard line, led, I think, by Logan Russell. So Gate City leads 14-0, 6:22 to go first quarter. They're actually going to spot the ball back now at the 29-yard line. So the Generals come to the line in the wishbone. 2 tight end set. Under center, the quarterback, Bledsoe. Long count. Turns, hands off to Hill. Hill gets it across the 30 to 32. Fumbles the football, and I believe the Blue Devils have recovered. They have. Derek Miller has recovered the Jonathan Hill fumble at the Lehigh 31-yard line.
This is about to get ugly.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're right. Hill, tough running back, just laid it on the ground that time. Gate City empties the backfield. Bowen in the shotgun, sends Morris in motion to the left. Hand off to Morris and bang, knocked down right at the point of handoff. That'll be a loss of nearly 5. They're going to mark him up at the 34. It'll be a loss of 4 on the play. That fooled nobody as soon as Morris took the handoff, he was hit and dropped immediately. Went in motion from the right wing back spot to the left. City again empties the backfield. 3 wides to the left, 1 to the right's Collier. Bowen drops straight back. Looks, fires the pass to Clark, and a little behind Clark, and it'll fall incomplete. So to bring up 3rd and 14 now for the Blue Devils. Clock stop, 5:34 to go first quarter. Devils on top 14-0. Miller will split out wide to the left, counting the tight end on the left. We go I formation, Vaughn at the fullback, Clark at the tailback. Handoff goes left side to Clark, and he's hit and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 35-yard line. That'll be a loss of 1 on the play. That'll bring up 4th and 15 from the General 35-yard line.
I'd say throw it deep.
Well, the Generals had to bow their backs, and so far here they've done that, trading 14-0. Couldn't afford to give up another touchdown, and still Gate City 4th and 15 with a chance to pick it up. Bowen drops straight back. Bowen looks, fires a pass that is behind Miller and too short for Calton, so it falls incomplete. And the Generals survive the turnover, and they'll have it 1st and 10 on their own 35-yard line.
Too much arm for one and not enough for the other.
That's right. So the Generals have the football. Bledsoe, the quarterback, wishbone, 2 tight end set. Bledsoe turns, hands off to Graham over the left side. He's hit and dropped. Might have picked up a yard. Morris, Clark, and Clark on the stop. PA man says 2. If that's 2 yards, I don't know. Might be 1. 2nd and 9. Same set. Wishbone with 2 tight ends. Gate City with a 4-man line. Bledsoe sends the fullback in motion, hands off to Graham, and he is knocked backwards. I don't know. The first man, I believe, Seth Clark.
Seth Clark was the one that got him.
Sent the fullback in motion to the right. Clark just stepped up in the hole and was waiting on Graham to take a hand down. So it'll be a loss of 1 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Generals. Clock running, 3:40 to go first quarter. Gate City on top, 14-0. Bledsoe brings his team to the line of scrimmage. Again, the wishbone set behind him. Bledsoe, long count, tries to draw the Blue Devils outside. Hands off comes this side to Graham. Big hole, across the 40, 45, 50. Graham knocked out of bounds by Clark, but not until he crosses into Blue Devil territory. Down at the
flags flying everywhere.
44-yard line, and we've got,
I'm going to say we got unsportsmanlike.
well, probably on both sides. Seaver Elliott and number 79 for the Generals, who is Chatham Robbins, 310-pounder. We're shoving and pushing each other out about midfield, and flags, as Jim said, went everywhere, and we'll see what we've got, as both coaches has taken those respective players out of the lineup real quickly. So, as neither team wants to lose those players with an ejection for sure. So we'll see what the call is going to be. My guess, it's just liable to be that old offsetting personal foul against Lee. Personal foul, Gate City. They'll offset, the play will stand, and it'll be 1st and 10 Generals at the Gate City 44.
So that amounts to much ado over nothing, I think.
Yeah. Pretty much ado about nothing. So Graham gets loose, picks up 21, and gives the Generals the first down at the Blue Devil 44-yard line. And let's see, the Blue Devils are going to ask for a timeout. We'll take one too. So after the Gate City timeout, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Generals at the Blue Devil 44-yard line. And I really don't know what we're waiting on. Put the ball in play and let's get on with it. Generals again in the wishbone. Bledsoe, quarterback sneak, has about 3 yards. From the 44, he'll carry it down to the 41. Be a gain of 3. And end up being 2nd and 7. Generals back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 7. Bledsoe goes out to count, and going to have motion. Yep, the fullback went early. That is Austin Snodgrass. He flinched, and that will penalize the Generals 5 yards. So instead of 2nd and 7, it'll now be 2nd and 12 from the Blue Devil 45-yard line. Actually, it'll be 2nd and 11. Big City creeps everybody up within about 8 yards of the line of scrimmage. Bledsoe turns, hands this side to Graham, cuts it inside at the 40. Clark wraps him up at the 39. Graham picks up 6 over the left side, and that's where the Generals have been able to make their yardage, is running Graham from the right halfback spot back to the left.
Big down out here for Lehigh.
Yeah, I'd say Lehigh is certainly looking at 2 downs to pick up 5 yards if they need it. Probably won't punt from there. Wishbone again. Bledsoe takes a snap, tosses it right side to Graham. Gate City's got it defense. Russell gets him by the ankles, and a bunch of Blue Devils finish him up. Russell played it well. It'll be a loss of 3 back to the 41-yard line, which will bring up 4th down and 7 now, and that will force Lee to punt the football as they lost yardage, and they'll send the punt team in. Back deep for the Blue Devils will be Joseph Vaughn. He stands at his 10-yard line. And they do not have Bledsoe now as the punter. He's the up guy, so they may be going to snap it to him. Nope. Thanks to the punter. He gets the punt away. Pretty good kick, which Vaughn fields at the 11, and he's hit there. Breaks a tackle up across the 15 to the 16. And the Blue Devils will be in business this time at their own 16-yard line with 26 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. So the Blue Devils, with their fourth possession of the night, the first two led to touchdowns. Third one, they went 4 and out. Bowen under center. Gate City tries to get a line. They go power I set to the right. Handoff comes to Clark. He has it across the 20, 25. That's not Clark. That's Vaughn, I believe. Well, actually, it is Vaughn, and Vaughn's going to go all the way for the touchdown. Joseph Vaughn will run 84 yards. Broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage and rest of the way untouched. I couldn't tell if it was Vaughn or Clark. It come out of the tailback spot, but Vaughn was the standing tailback, and 84 yards later, Joseph has a touchdown. So that makes the score 20-0 with 11 seconds to go in the first quarter. Bird on to attempt. Here's the hold. The kick is perfect. 11 seconds to go. First quarter. Gate City leads 21-0. Blue Devils Nick Bowen set to kick off for the fourth time here in the first quarter. Heel back deep. Whistle sounds and Bowen set to approach. Kick downfield. Be fielded by Hill at the 7. Has it across the 10, the 15, the 20. And he's hit and brought down as he crosses the 25 to the 26.
Jonathan Hill on the return. Tackle made on play by Zach Shelton.
Zach Shelton, 12. First man in on the stop for the Blue Devils. So most likely this will be the last play of the first quarter.
See, Lebanon is ahead of Marion 7-0.
And that's a vital game for Lebanon's fight to get to game 11.
Yep.
Bledsoe again under center, same set, two tight ends, wishbone. Bledsoe takes the snap, hands off inside to the fullback.
And runs right into Seth Clark.
Up at the 20, make it at the 30-yard line. Zach Parsons on the carry. A gain of 4, and that'll be the end of the first quarter with a score, Gate City 21, Lehigh 0. Second quarter set to get underway here in Ben-Hur. Gate City leading 21-0. Clintwood leads Burton 7-0. 7 minutes to go first half. As Jim said, Lebanon on top of Marion 7-0 in the first half. Handoff goes left side to Graham, and Gate City knocks him down behind the line of scrimmage. And not sure who that was. I believe Morris might have been the man on the stop.
Well, I was zoomed right in on it, but I couldn't tell you.
Well, all I know is we got him behind the line of scrimmage, and it brings
that's the important
That's
thing.
the important part. Third down, 8 to go for the Generals. Just underway second quarter. Bledsoe, long count, hands off to the near side to Hill. He has it across the 30. He knocked down about the 31-yard line. That's going to bring up third and about 5 yards to go for the Generals.
Tackle made on the play by number 44, Seth Clark.
Oh, actually, is it third or fourth down?
They're saying fourth down on the
Well,
sideline.
let's see. I guess it is fourth
Yeah,
down.
it's fourth down.
And they're going to go for it on their own 31-yard line.
Well,
Okay.
I can't say that I blame them at this point.
Well, still yet. I could understand maybe at midfield, but Wishbone behind Bledsoe. Maybe they're just going to try to draw Gate City offsides. I can't. Well, no, they're going to go for it. Handoff goes left side to Graham, and wait a minute. Whistle Sam. Play don't count. What have we got?
Penalty on the play.
Now, most likely it's motion against Lee, which it is. And that will force the Generals to send the punt team in now. As I thought that it looked like that quarterback Bledsoe was trying to draw Gate City off, but they did go ahead and snap the ball, and we're not going to have the first down, I don't think, as long as we were able to make a tackle.
You know, I can't say that's not a gutsy move to go for it on fourth. With this kind of score in the game, I mean, you got to take chances.
Well, I think Coach Palco probably deep down right now knows that they can't really stop us. You know, if they give a ball back to us. Here's a snap over the punter's head, and the punter will kick it through the end zone for a safety. As Gate City will record their second safety of the year, and that'll run the score to 23-0 with 9:43 to go here in the first half. And Lee will have a free kick upcoming from the 20-yard line. As score that Clintwood's now up on Burton 10-0 in the first half. A game that doesn't play into what Gate City does, but that's a big game. Two undefeated teams playing and playing for the OPD championship, basically. And those two teams are going to see each other again, most likely in the region championship game with much more at stake. They have the last several years, and I don't think there's not too many teams in Region D, Division I that's going to beat either Clintwood or Norton in the first round of the playoffs.
Wouldn't think so.
So the Generals will have, I don't know if they're going to punt or kick. It appears they're going to kick off the tee, and that would be Brian Woodard. He is going to put it on the tee. Back deep for the Blue Devils will be Dusty Clark.
Now, here's my ignorance. Do they have the option?
Yeah, they can punt or kick off the tee. And Woodard approaches. And the kick is short and fielded by Peyton Sivert. Sivert did a good job. That's, you know, he just he caught the ball and fell on it just like he's supposed to do and taught to do. So Gate City will have the ball at the Lehigh 32-yard line.
Pretty close to where they had it at the end of the Lee's last series.
That's right. So Blue Devils have Corey Franklin in at a running back spot. We'll go split backs this time. Vaughn to the left, Franklin to the right. Bowen turns, hands off to Vaughn, cuts it inside at the 30, at the 25, at the 20, at the 15-yard line is where the Generals finally corral Vaughn.
I believe somebody greased that boy.
Yeah, he's a good high school running back, no question. They'll move it back to the 16. First down for the Blue Devils at the General 16-yard line. Still 9 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the first half. Handoff comes to the left side. Franklin,
Fumble.
he fumbles the football, and Generals pick it up, and they go the other way. And then they drop the football. They had a sure touchdown, dropped it. Ball's on the ground, and it looks like the Generals will come up with it, though. That was a strange play on this Halloween weekend. That was, as Franklin fumbled the football, Lee picks it up and was going to score a touchdown.
Had nobody near.
Nobody around him. He had, well, the only people around him were three generals, I believe. It was number 1, Corey Bergen, who had the football. And as he crossed the 35-40 yard line, he just dropped the football, and then they almost didn't recover it as Gate City had caught up. But the Blue Devils lay it on the ground, and the Generals come up with it. They'll have it 1st and 10 on their own 46-yard line. Bledsoe under center, turns, hands off to the second man through. That's Hill, and he's hit after a gain of about a yard. Be a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Clock runs, 8:40 to go first half, 23-0. Gate City with the lead. Bledsoe, Gate City, 4-man front. Long count. Hands off left side to Graham, and he's hit and dropped. Who was that? Number 41, Russell, 44, Clark. Clark, the man that stood him up. $23-0, Gate City with the lead. At the 48-yard line. The Generals will have it 3rd down and 8 yards to go. Bledsoe takes the snap, hands off to Hill over the right side. Hill cuts it back to the left. He's hit and knocked down as he crosses midfield. Down to about the 49-yard line, where it'll bring up 4th down and 5 for the Generals, and I'm thinking that they'll probably go for this. So if they were going to go for it on their own 32, I would imagine they're going to go for it at the 50. Just inside Blue Devil territory, we'll call it the 49-yard line. 4th and 5 for the Generals, and we have a timeout asked for by Lee. We'll take one too. Back at Lehigh, as the Generals are facing a 4th and 5 from the Blue Devil 49-yard line. Bledsoe takes the snap, hands off to Graham, or make that Hill over the right side, and he'll pick up the 1st down. As Hill gets it inside the 44 down to the 43-yard line, and that will be enough for the General 1st down.
Is that the first one for the evening?
Graham had the 20-yard run in the first quarter. That's their 2nd 1st down.
2nd.
And flag goes down, so somebody lined up off sides. Let's see. Off sides against Gate City. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Blue Devils. So 1st and 5 at the 38. Bledsoe hands to Graham over the left side, has it down to about the 35. He'll be just shy of the 35. Be a gain of 2 to bring up 2nd down and about 3. Generals with a little bit of a drive going here. 6 minutes to go in the first half, 23-0, Gate City on top. Generals remain in the wishbone. Gate City sneaks up close to the line of scrimmage, hand off to the fullback, who is Woodard, and no, that's Graham, 26 on the carry. And that'll be close to a first down. They might have to measure this one. We'll see. It's going to be really close. And they will have to bring the chains in from across the way. It'll either be 1st and 10 or 3rd and inches. Of course, this will conclude the regular season for the Blue Devils here tonight. They'll have next Friday night off. They'll have the next Friday night off.
And the next?
And 3 weeks from, most likely 3 weeks from tonight. I guess it could be 3 weeks from tomorrow, but most likely 3 weeks from tonight, the Blue Devils will host a Region D semifinal game at Legion Field.
They're short.
Just a little bit short. So it'll be 3rd and inches for the Generals, as they'll spot the ball just outside the Blue Devil 33-yard line. So we'll see what the Generals choose to do, whether it'll be a quarterback sneak or...
I would say that's what it's going to be. They've run a couple of them.
Yeah, I would think so. They only have to really just advance the football. If they advance it any at all, they'll have the first down. Let's change the reset across the way. Bledsoe up under center. They'll go on a quick count, would be my guess. No, they don't go on a quick count. And if they do run the quarterback sneak, and they'll have the first down. Don't get it by much, but they get half a yard, and they only needed an inch, so it'll be 1st and 10 Generals. And they'll have it at the Gate City 32-yard line.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but are we in the second quarter?
Yeah, where you been?
Well, the scoreboard's saying first quarter.
Well, you know how them clock operators are.
Yeah, I know. He probably gets paid as much as I do.
Yeah, most likely. 1st and 10 Generals at the Devil 32-yard line. Bledsoe turns, hands to Graham. That's not Graham, that's Hill, and Hill fights for yardage down near another first down, and I believe he'll have enough for another Lehigh first down. As the Generals with a good-looking drive going here, and it will be first down for the Generals at the 22-yard line of the Blue Devils.
See what Lebanon is up on Marion, 16-0.
Wishbone. Bledsoe takes the snap, hands to Hill again, cuts it back inside, and he's hit and knocked down. Still picks up 4 yards down to the 18-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 6. Clock runs inside 4 minutes now to go in the first half. Gate City on top 23-0 over the Generals, but Lee trying to fight their way back in it here. Whistle sounds, timeout. Gate City will take 1-2. Back at 5 Star Stadium. 3:46 to go in the first half. Gate City on top 23-0. But the Generals strung together about 3 or 4 first downs here and have it 2nd and 6 at the Gate City 18-yard line. Bledsoe under center, hands off left side to Graham, and he's hit behind the line of scrimmage and knocked down at about the 19-yard line. Miller, the first man, I believe, on the stop for the Blue Devils. And then a host of friends joined him. So it'll be a loss of 1. It'll be 3rd and 7 now for the Generals, just inside the Blue Devil 20-yard line. Lee in the wishbone every play so far. Bledsoe keeps it around the right side, and he'll be hit and dropped at about the 16-yard line. Seth Clark, Tyler Bird in on the stop. So it'll bring up 4th and about 6 yards to go for the Generals. Clock continues to run, 2:30 to go now here in the first half. Lee breaks the wishbone, splits Graham out to the right, Hill to the left. Bledsoe, long count, drop straight back, hands off to the fullback on the draw play, and that goes nowhere.
Only thing he drawed was a tackle.
Yeah. Hand off to the fullback and loses a couple of yards, as that play had no chance, Jim. So Gate City will take over on downs. They'll have it at their own 21-yard line. Trying to tack on one here before the end of the half. They'll get the ball to start the second half also. Fumble snap. Bowen has to keep it to the right, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gain a yard. As when he took the snap, it popped up in front of him.
I don't think it ever hit the ground, did it?
No, it never hit the ground. It just disrupted all the timing of the play, so Bowen made what he could out of it, which was a couple of yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 8 from the 23.
I would say any time a busted play gains yards is a good play.
It's pretty good, that's right. Straight T formation now for the Blue Devils, 2 tight ends. Man in motion comes to the near side. Handoff comes to Vaughn, who has it up near the 30-yard line. That'll be short of a first down by about 2 yards. We'll call it 3rd and 2. It's a short 2. In same set, straight T. Gate City hands off inside to Vaughn, and he busts a couple tackles, 3 tackles, and has it out near the 40-yard line. They just couldn't get him on the ground. 54 seconds to go here in the first half. Gate City on top 23-0. They'll have it 1st and 10 on their own 40-yard line. Now Gate City goes spread formation. Vaughn stands to the left of Bowen. Bowen in the gun, drops back, fires a little pass out here to Clark. Clark has it at the 40, Clark 45, Clark 50, and he'll go out of bounds at the 50 and depends on the spot whether he'll have the first down or not. And they're going to mark it across the 50, so that should be enough for the Blue Devil first down.
And it is.
Just a little swing pass to Clark, and gets 1 block, makes 10. It's out of bounds. Same set except Vaughn to the right. Bowen drops straight back, now rolls to his right, fires a pass out. That is caught for a first down, I believe. Well,
Gonna be a little short, isn't it?
Well, I thought he caught the ball well beyond the stick myself, and Gate City will have to ask for a timeout since they didn't get it with the clock stopping on the first down. So timeout, Gate City, back in 30 seconds. As they bring the sticks in to measure after Gate City has to, well, in essence, waste the timeout because the clock would have stopped on the first down, but Gate City had to call timeout because they weren't stopping the clock. And then they decide to measure after Gate City calls the timeout. It is a first down. Gate City will have it at the Lehigh 39-yard line. Bowen drops straight back and whistle sound, and what have we got? We have a flag across the way, and the penalty is false start against the Blue Devils. They'll be penalized 5 yards. In a game that some people thought might give Richlands one of their biggest challenges of the year, they're just struggling to get by Carroll County at 35-0 in the first half. Richland's not going to be challenged for another game or two just yet. So 1st and 15, Gate City at the 44 of the Generals. Bowen drops straight back, looks, fires a pass deep across the middle over the head of Clark, and it will fall incomplete. So clock stopped with 22 seconds to go in the first half. Gate City would like to, I guess, obviously like to score a touchdown, but another 15 yards and would be a possibility. Here's a pass down the right sideline.
Almost intercepted.
Yeah, almost intercepted. Gate City. Corey Franklin, when he come and split out wide to the left, Corey was about 4 yards across the line of scrimmage. And we'll say he got back on the side before the snap of the ball. We'll go with that. Lehigh General fans didn't necessarily think that was the case. I don't know if it's Franklin or Morris maybe. But somebody was ahead of the line of scrimmage. Handoff comes to Vaughn. Vaughn has it and cuts it back to the right. Got one man to beat. Now they get an angle on him and able to drive him out of bounds at the 26-yard line. It'll be a first down for the Blue Devils. Now the question is, can't remember if we've got another timeout or not. As it's out of bounds. And that's in field goal range for Bird. That would be about a 45-yarder, 44-yarder from there. But Gate City will snap the football as Bowen stands at the 30, drops straight back, looks, fires a pass across the middle. That's intercepted. Nope, it's dropped. Should have been intercepted. 3.5 seconds to go, and Gate City will send the field goal team in now, I believe. As they took a shot for the end zone pass, should have been intercepted as it was overthrown.
Should have been twice
intercepted. The safety had it, just went through his hand. So 3.5 seconds to go. The Blue Devils will have Logan Bird on to attempt a 43-yard field goal. Franklin to hold. Russell to snap. And whistle sound, and what do we got? We have
that helped.
Penalty. What was the penalty call?
Offside.
Okay, offsides against the Generals. That will move it 5 yards closer.
Offsides against the Generals.
So now it will be a 30, we'll call it a 38-yard field goal attempt. Bird awaits. Here's the snap, good. The kick by Bird is high, plenty long, and drills it right down the middle as time expires in the first half. After one half of play here at Five Star Stadium, it's Gate City 26 and the Generals nothing. Second half set to get underway. Kicking off for the Generals will be Brian Woodard. Woodard bounds it along the ground, and it hits a Gate City up man, and I believe the Generals have recovered it. They have.
Generals are trying their best to make a ball game out of it.
I don't know. I don't really think necessarily that's an onside kick, but it hit a Blue Devil up back and or up man, the man in the front line, and unable to catch it, and it bounded back to midfield. And the Generals have recovered it, and they'll have it 1st and 10 on the Blue Devil 49-yard line. Bledsoe under center, hands off left side. Graham has 6 yards down to the Blue Devil 44-yard line. So it'll be first, make it second down now. 5 yards to go for the Generals. Just underway here in the second half. Devils on top 26-0. Bledsoe takes a snap, hands off to Hill over the right side, has it at the 40, down to the 38, 37-yard line, and that'll be enough for a general first down. Dusty Clark and Joseph Vaughn in on the stop for the Blue Devils.
Tackle made on the play by Dusty Clark. Result of a play.
Tyler Bird. Bird has to check out, a little shaken up. Bledsoe. Snap, left side goes to Graham, has it down near the 30. That's going to be a gain of 6, close to 7 yards on first down by Graham.
And first on the play by number 44, Seth Clark.
Call it 2nd and 4 now for the Generals from the Blue Devil 31-yard line. Wishbone again, only broken it one time all night. Graham, left side, has 5 down near the 25-yard line of the Blue Devils. And that'll be enough for another general first down. At least I think it will be. Yes, it is. 1st and 10 Generals at the Devil 26-yard line. Nothing real fancy, just running the ball between the tackles and controlling the line of scrimmage right now. Bledsoe takes a snap, hands to Hill over the right side, and he's hit and dropped as he gets to the 25. Vaughn, Seaver Elliott, the first man. Joseph Vaughn in on the stop as well.
Tackle made on the play by number 34, Seaver Elliott, and number 31, Joseph Vaughn.
We'll give him a gain of 1 on the play, 2nd and 9 for Lehigh. Again, Wishbone set. Bledsoe, 2 tight ends. Hands left side to Graham, and he has it down inside the 20-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 6. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 3. Make it 2 for the Generals. 3rd and 2 from the Devil 19. Inside the 19, they'll spot it. Clock runs, 8:50 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Devils on top, 26-0. But again, the Generals took possession of the ball near midfield, picked up a couple of first downs. Another good drive going. Wishbone set, Bledsoe under center, hands off to Hill, and Hill, I believe, will have the first down. It'll be close. He had to get to just inside the 16. It'll depend on the spot, and I don't know that he got a favorable spot, but it's going to be close, and they may have to measure, and they will have to bring the chains in to see. It's, looks to me like it might well be a first down, but when they stretch the chains, it will tell us. 8:10 to go here, 3rd quarter, 26-0. Devils with the lead. Chains are stretched, and it is indeed 1st and 10 for the Generals. Spotted just outside the Blue Devil 15-yard line.
That's nothing but plain old ground and pound.
Yep. That's controlling the line of scrimmage is what it's doing. 2 tight end set again. Wishbone. Toss goes left side to Graham, and he's hit and dropped at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time. That might be the first time they've actually ran a toss play. They bunch of going with straight handoffs. I don't believe the Generals have attempted to pass tonight, I don't think. Well, they're going to give him a yard. I didn't think he got but to the line of scrimmage, but they'll give him a yard. 2nd and 9 on the carry by Graham. Bledsoe takes a snap.
Fumble.
The first man through, ball's fumbled. And recovered by the Generals. Austin Snodgrass, the fullback, able to foul on it. Not sure exactly what happened there. It's like a little mix-up on the handoff. It'll be a loss of 1. It'll bring up 3rd and 10 now for the Generals. Clock runs inside 6:40 to go. They've had the ball the entire 3rd quarter. So it'll be 3rd and 10 for Lehigh. It's a Devil 16. Handoff goes left side to Graham, and he's hit after he gains about 2.
They got to go for it.
Oh, yeah. Give Graham 2 yards over the left side. It'll bring up 4th and 8 now for Lehigh. Taking a lot of time, and they'll have to take a timeout. They're about to get a delay of game. Timeout by the Generals. We'll take one too. 5:54 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Gate City yet to see the ball here in the 2nd half. They were set to receive the opening kick of the 2nd half, but Lehigh kicked the ball low on the ground, and Gate City had it bounce off a player into the arms of a General, and they've had the ball the entire quarter. But they're faced with 4th and 8 now from the Gate City 14-yard line. Bledsoe rolls back, looks, fires the pass downfield, and
draws a flag.
They're going to throw a pass interference call on the Blue Devils, it appears. Pass interference against Gate City. So that'll be a half the distance to the goal penalty, and it'll be a 1st down for the Generals, and it should be about the Gate City 7-yard line. As the pass wasn't necessarily on target, but we did interfere with him. And so 1st and goal at the 7 for Lehigh. Generals hands off to Hill inside the 5, down near the 3-yard line goes Jonathan Hill.
Is it me, or is the Lebanon offensive line doing a little bit of job blocking this half?
Well, I don't know. I'm not watching the Lebanon game, but the Lee offensive line's doing a little
My
bit
bad.
of job. No, they came around a little bit there in the 2nd quarter, and we're not exactly don't look like we've got a lot of fire about us right now, actually. So 2nd and goal from the 3. Generals, handoff goes to Hill again, and he's hit down near the 2-yard line, not in. So it's going to bring up 3rd down from the 2-yard line.
I think the red uniform just killed me that way.
Well, they look a lot like the Pioneers. So 3rd and goal from inside the 2-yard line. Bledsoe under center, Gate City, 8 men across the front. Hand off to Hill, and he scampers into the end zone. Jonathan Hill takes it in from 2 yards out. So the Generals get on the board with 4:24 to go here in the third quarter. Pretty good drive by the Generals. 50 yards. And they'll line up and go for the 2-point. No, they won't either. And the kick for the Generals is, looks like Josh Lawson, possibly. 88, I believe is his number. Here's the snap. Bledsoe gets it down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 4:24 to go in the third quarter. It's Lehigh 26, or make that Gate City 26, Lehigh 7. 26-7. Gate City with the lead, not Lehigh. So everybody settle down. 4:24 to go, third quarter. Gate City yet to have their hands on the ball here in the second half.
So you can look for the same thing this kickoff that you saw the last one.
Well, their free kick after their safety was exactly the same type of kick, so we'll see what they do this time as Woodard approaches, and he'll kick the ball down the middle of the field, and we still haven't fell on it, and finally Dusty Clark able to come up and fall on the football, and that was a little bit too close for comfort there. So Clark able to finally get to the football and fall on it, and that will be now a first down for Gate City at their own 31-yard line. So 4:20 to go in the third quarter before the Devil offense gets on the field. City's Bowen trying to get people aligned. Now the alignment is set. In motion goes Vaughn to the right. Toss right goes to Clark. Has it across the 30. Has it at the 35. Has it at the 40. At the 45. At the 50. And is knocked down just shy, they say, of the 50 at the 49-yard line. That's where he steps out of bounds. So the Blue Devils 1st and 10 on their own 49-yard line. Power eye set to the left. Bowen hands off to Vaughn. Has it at the 50 and down to the 46-yard line of the Generals. Be a gain of 4. It will be 2nd and 6 from that point. City comes unbalanced, line set to the right. Double wing, single set back Vaughn in motion. Seth Clark to the right, hand off to Vaughn. Big hole over the right side, has it 45, down to the 40, down to the 37-yard line where he's tackled. It'll be a 1st and 10 Blue Devils at the General 37-yard line. Clock runs, 3:20 to go now, third quarter. Collier splits out wide to the right. Seth Clark, the lone setback now. Bowen takes a snap, follows Clark up into the, that's not Bowen, that must have been Dusty Clark.
Ball carrier number 15, Dusty Clark.
Yeah. Caught me not paying attention. So Dusty,
at least you know what teams are playing.
Well, that's true. That's true. But Seth led Dusty up into the hole. Clark picks up 5 yards. Now Bowen back at quarterback for the Blue Devils. This time Gate City goes in the eye. Miller the fullback. Handoff goes to Vaughn from the tailback spot. Has it 25, down to the 20. And they still can't get him down. Finally do, but not until he gets down to the Lehigh 17-yard line.
Hard to bring down.
So it'll be 1st and 10 Blue Devils from the Lehigh 17-yard line. City, again, having alignment problems. Now, twin backs in the backfield. Bowen hands off inside to Vaughn. Has it down inside the 10-yard line, I believe. Be knocked down at the 9. That'll be a gain of 8.
And Vaughn comes up. Looked like a shoulder.
Yeah, I think Joseph's shoulder had been nicked up just a little bit, and if it is, now might be a good time to say we'll see you in 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Into the backfield will be Seth Clark, Derek Miller, and Dusty Clark in the T. Handoff goes Dusty right side, has it, well, down close to the first down. Not much on that carry, maybe a yard.
First down.
So first and goal, the Blue Devils will have it. They're going to spot it about the 6-yard line. First and goal, Gate City. Clark, Dusty at quarterback. Bowen is a wing back. Clark follows Clark up inside, down to about the 3.
Ball carrier number 15, Dusty Clark.
Vaughn back in the game.
Tackle made on play by Stephen Davis.
Well, he's a hard guy to keep out there, and as also Seaver Elliott in. They stand in front of Clark. Handoff goes Dusty, and he'll walk into the end zone. Dusty Clark carries it in from 3 yards out with 23 seconds to go here in the third quarter, making the scores 32-7. Blue Devils on top. And Logan Bird will be on to attempt his 4th extra point of the night. Already has a field goal. Franklin counts to make sure there's 11 on the field, and there is. Russell the snap. Snap good, the hold good, and the kick is good. 33-7 the new score, 23 seconds to go, third quarter. We'll be back. Back at Five Star Stadium, 33-7. Gate City leads with 23 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Clintwood has extended their lead to 24-0 over the Raiders. Burton. So Nick Bowen to kick off for Gate City. Back deep, Jonathan Hill for the Generals. Bowen approaches. High kick. Will be fielded by an up back at the 9, across the 15 to the 20. I believe that is number 21, Zach Parsons, on the return.
Number 32 for Gate City on the stop.
That's Bo Morse. Sophomore. Morris in at that, Bo Morris in and Vaughn's spot on defense. Tyler Bird back in the lineup too after going out a little shaken up. Handoff comes to Hill over the right side, and he breaks it. Has it across the 40, 45, Hill 50, Hill 45, and ran down by Seaver Elliott at the Blue Devil 41-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 Generals at the Blue Devil 41-yard line. And that will bring to close the third quarter of play here at Lehigh. After 3 quarters of play, it's Gate City 33, Lehigh 7. fourth and final quarter of the regular season set to get underway. As Gate City leads 33-7 over the Generals. Generals have it 1st and 10 on the Devil 41. Generals in the wishbone. Snap. Handoff comes to Graham, and he fights down to about the 36-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5. Again, the Generals with 2 games left after tonight. Wishbone, Bledsoe with his 2 tight end set. Hand off right side to Hill, 35, and knocked down at the 33. That'll be just shy of the first down.
Jonathan Hill on the carry. Tackle made on the play by Tyler Bird.
Third and 2 from the Devil 33-yard line. Handoff comes near side to Graham, and I don't think, well, don't think he got it. I think he's going to be just a little bit short of the first down. Going to be 4th and about a half a yard.
They'll bring up 4th down and 1 for the Generals.
And so to the huddle with the play. We'll see what they choose to do. It's about a half yard shy of the first down. Bledsoe takes the snap and hands off to the fullback, and he didn't get it. That's twice they've tried to pop the fullback in there on short yardage and didn't work either time. Actually, they said it was Hill on the carry. Probably was. Gate City holds the Generals. So I don't know why you just don't quarterback sneak that.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So Gate City takes over on downs at their own 32-yard line. Straight T formation behind Bowen. 2 tight end set, handoff fullback. And I believe that's Bledsoe, Micah Bledsoe, not sure. It's a clean uniform. It is. Micah Bledsoe on the carry from the fullback spot. Picks up 11 yards and another first down for Gate City. That was again Bledsoe on the handoff. Has 5. If he can keep his feet, he'd have had 55. But still, 11 more yards on the carry by Bledsoe. Yeah, that's
impressive.
22 yards and 2 carries and 2 first downs on just little dive plays, really. Which means we're doing something pretty good up front ourselves. Plus, Micah's got fresh legs and nobody else out there does on defense especially. This time straight T, it's Millers, Elliott, and Bledsoe. Handoff Miller over the right side, and he gets it down close to the 40. That'll be a gain of 5. Of course, that could be an early look at part of what your backfield will look like next year. All 3 of those, all 4, including the quarterback, underclassmen. Bowen, straight T behind him again. Hands off this time inside to Bledsoe, and not too good sledding that time. Maybe a yard, 2, we'll call it. It's going to be 3rd. We'll call it 4 yards to go for Gate City from the general 39-yard line. Gate City leads 33-7. Clock nearing 8:10 to go here in the fourth and final quarter. Devils break the huddle. Collier splits out wide to the right, straight to T again, handoff receiver Elliott, and he gets about half of what they need. It's going to be fourth and about 2 yards to go now. So fourth and a long 2. They'll mark it at the 37.5 yard line. Got to get it to the 35.5 yard line. So pretty close, 2 yards to go. Collier this time splits out wide to the left. Miller in the wing spot to the left. Bledsoe the lone back. Handoff goes to Bledsoe, breaks it down to the 30, down to the 25, down to the 21 yard line. Goes Michael Bledsoe, picks up a block from Elliott, who went in motion. And Gate City picks up the first down at the 21 yard line.
And then some.
City splits Collier again out to the right. I formation. Bowen keeps it around the left side, and he's going to be caught behind the line of scrimmage. Be a loss of 3 on the play. Bring up 2nd and 12. Power eye set to the right. Bowen watching the back judge. When he starts countdown, he snaps the ball. Hand off right side. I think we'll see when he gets up. I just won't guess. Derek Miller on the carry. Miller gets it down inside the 20. Pick up a 4. It'll be 3rd and 8 for Gate City from the 20 yard line of the Generals. 5:40 to go in the game. Gate City want to wrap up their 3rd straight Clinch Mountain title here tonight. Power eye set to the right. Bowen hands off left side to Miller again, I believe, and he gets about 3 yards down to the 17. So that's going to bring up 3rd and make it 4th and 6 to go for the Blue Devils.
Brad Rutherford on the tackle. Bring up 4th down for Gate City.
Gate City taking a long time in the huddle. 2 wide out set to the right, 1 to the left. And we'll have whistles and timeout will be called for by the Generals. We'll take one too.
Timeout.
4:45 to go. Gate City leading 33-7. They have it 4th and 5 from the General 16. Got to get it just inside the 11. Now Gate City splits. Nope, they're trying to get lined up. Collier splits out wide to the right. And can't quite get lined up right. Bowen drops straight back, throws the pass across the middle. It's intercepted. Intercepted across the 10, across the 15 to the 20. And Bowen tries to make the tackle. Can't do it. 40, 45. There's a clip. No call. And finally, the Blue Devils able to run down Parsons as he crosses midfield down to the 43 yard line. Give the Blue Devil offensive lineman Cody Vaughn some credit. He hustled downfield and able to make the tackle on Parsons. That play was doomed from the start when we didn't get lined up correctly. And then the pass was intercepted. So the Generals, with 4:29 to go, have it 1st and 10 at the 44 of the Blue Devils. Bledsoe hands off to Hill. Hill cuts it up inside, and he's knocked down after a gain of 1. Howington, Kilgore, and Clark in on the stop. He's 2nd and 9. From a 43, Lee with it. Bledsoe takes the snap, hands off this side to Graham, and he's hit and dropped down about the 41-yard line. Be a gain of 2. So to bring up 3rd and 6 for the Generals from the Devil 40.
Lehigh offense is coming off the ball really quick.
Now they've played quite a bit better. They got shocked real quick at 21-0, but you know, it's a 12-7 game since that point. Handoff goes right side to Hill, and he barrels his way down to the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 5. It'll be just short of the first down by about a yard. So it'll be 3rd down. Make it 4th down. That's what I was trying to say. I sat watching the 4 and still said 3. So it's 4th and 1 from the 35.5-yard line. They've got to get it to the 34.5-yard line. 2:30 to go. Devils on top, 33-7. Again, the wishbone behind quarterback Bledsoe. And whistle sound, and we'll have a timeout asked for by Lehigh. 2:15 to go. Devils on top, 33-7. Lee will have it 4th down and 1 from the 35. Quarterback Bledsoe hands off to Hill, and he's not going to get the first down. That is 3 times tonight that Lehigh has failed on 3rd and less than a yard. So Gate City will take over on downs.
First down, Gate City.
So Gate City will run the clock out here, hopefully. And we can get back on the bus and head back home. Turn the heat on, maybe even. Gate City goes straight T formation behind Bowen. 2 tight end set. Bowen turns, hands off, first man through. Miller has it across the 40, across the 45 for a first down.
I'll definitely be turning the heat on.
I would think so. Should have left the key for somebody and they could have already had it going. So at the 46, Gate City will have it. 1st and 10. Bowen hands off left side to Franklin, and he's knocked down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 2 on the play. Handoff comes to the near side.
I think that was a little busted play. They went to the wrong side.
Bo Morris on the carry. 32 Morris carries. Gain of 1. Clock runs now. We're down to 42 seconds. So most likely this will be the final snap of the game. It will be as the clock runs inside 30. So Gate City only has to take one more snap. And they do. Comes toss it to the right side to Franklin, and he slips and goes down as the clock will run down to 15 seconds, and that'll do it. As Lee, of course, won't call a timeout. So Gate City comes to Five Star Stadium here in Ben-Hur and wraps up the Clinch Mountain District Championship tonight with a 33-7 win over the Lehigh Generals. So now for the Blue Devils, no game next week, no game the following week. It'll be 3 weeks from tonight. Gate City will host the number 4 seed in Region D in Division 2, whoever that may be, and that'll be determined, probably not determined until games are finished next Friday night, and I guess even quite possibly the week after, but not likely. Probably going to know next week who the opponent will be. So we'll wrap it up pretty quick here tonight. Gate City jumped out to a 21-0 lead in the first quarter, kind of put it on cruise, and from there defeat the Generals 33-7.
I think it's important to let everyone know and reassure them that Larry will be back.
Yeah, he will.
And they don't have to listen to me.
Larry will be back and join us again when the playoff season starts, and again that'll be in about 3 weeks. So from Five Star Stadium here, the Blue Devils finish 8-2 in the regular season, 4-0 in the Clinch Mountain District. Again, 3rd straight Clinch Mountain District Championship for the Blue Devils, and certainly congratulations to go out to Coach Housewright and all the coaches and players for another job well done. 8-2, that's 80%. That'll keep you employed for a long time when you can do that. 33-7 the final score. For Tim Hill, Jim Benton, Mark Peters, good night.